So introduction. Kina mengushon chu anachu. Agatuba. Churches. Wait. Imagine I made you. Imagine I made you. Cargatu. Well, Nixon, wabe maombi? Anayogoni? Isa. Yogoni? Yogoni? Okay, thank you, honorable members. The nominee, Karibu Sana. This is the Committee on Roads and Transport. I, being the chair, we will start by introducing ourselves. Start by you, or no? Swearing, we have. Okay. Let's pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to your leadership position in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and those of whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. Thank you. Could we give this time to nominee to make an oath?
I, Anderson Chiruyo Terer, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Okay. Let me request the nominee to hand over the academic documents plus the original ID. And then we will now go to the introduction. Let me start by the honorable members. From my left,
thank you so much, Chair, and our nominee and the entire panel. I am Rotich Moses, member of County Assembly, representing the great people of Tendeno Soget, and a member of this committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Esron Kipnganangetich, representing Chilchila Ward, and a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Rotich Aaron, MC representing good people of Seretut, Cheptororiet, and the Bozapa Majority Chief Whip, and a member of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Honorable Evelyn Chebovian, Vice Chair of this committee.
Okay. Okay. I'm Gilbert Kibrov Ngetich, a member representing Kishara Ward and Chairman Ross.
Pierre Posvin, Hillary, representing great people of Cheplanget, member this committee. Success and us.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Julius Siele, Waldai Ward. Welcome, Terer.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My name is Paul Chiritir Tarimbo. I am the MCA for Kapsoit Ward and leader of Majority County Assembly of Kericho and member Roads, Public Works and Transport Committee. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let me give time to the nominee to also introduce himself. Oh, before him, the secretaries.
My name is Brenda Siele, Hansard Editor. Good afternoon. I'm Sharon Mibe, Deputy Clerk, Legislative Services.
I'm Patrick Korir, Office of the Clerk.
William Yan, Sarah Mayo, Sergeant of Arms.
Ruben Kiri, Sergeant at Arms.
Before honorable members, just complete your side.
Prince Kamosonik, PR Office.
Renis Jakumetich, PR.
Okay, we have honorable members who have joined us, and I give them time to introduce themselves too.
Anderson, welcome. I'm Honorable Philip Kimweno Mutai, representing the great people of Kipchimchim, and a friend to this committee. Welcome.
Anthony Ruto, MCA Kukelianwa.
Okay, thank you. The nominee, can we know you?
Thank you, Chair, and the members, honorable members. I'm Anderson Terer, born and raised in a village called Chepso. Chepso is in Chepso location. Chepso is in sorry. It is in Japan location, Chepso sub-location, Kapsoit Ward, and Namoi constituency, Kericho County. I started my school in a small school called Chepso, where I studied primary school from my nursery up class 8. This is from 92. It's from 92 to 2001. From there, I joined Kablong Boys High School from my secondary school from 2002 to 2005. And then I joined Nairobi University to pursue a course in quantity surveying for 4 years. I completed 2011. After my graduation, 2011 September, is where I joined a firm called Ketso as an assistant quantity surveyor for 2 years before doing my board of registration exams. After my registration exams is where I registered as a registered quantity surveyor. I work also in other 2 companies as called Kajumba Consultants as a registered quantity surveyor and Suraya Property Group, where I was head of Department of Quantity Surveying. While I was in employment, I did most projects dealing with buildings, road networks, and even dams. But specifically, I was dealing with buildings. If I can go back in my training, specifically is dealing with costings for buildings, roads, dams, mostly buildings and roads. During my career time, I participated in most of quantity surveying seminars, and I was privileged to be honored as one of the best quantity surveyor in practice. So after I worked for Suraya up to 2017, is where with my 3 colleagues, we opened up a firm called Terer Consultants, where I'm practicing up to now as a consultant. That's privilege my...
Okay, that is privilege. That is how you've explained yourself. Could be having known you, being the nominee now for the position of CEO roads. I'm very sure that we have a guidance, and could be we have to see your papers, the originals. Hope the Secretariat has confirmed they are there, which I'll also give chance to these honorable members to check. And from here, could be you've actually told us about your work experience. Could be wherever you didn't mention anything to do with honors and awards, but there are questions in which you'll be asked by the honorable members. And let me direct the honorable member Moses to pose a question. In the vetting tool, we start by that.
Thank you so much, Chair, and to our nominee. Welcome. On your employment record, I've realized that you have provided with all the documents plus the CV plus the ID. Yeah? Do you have any honors? Maybe you have been awarded?
Yeah, I was awarded honors on one of the best quantity surveying during after our registration exams.
Okay, thank you, Anderson. Are you a member of any professional association?
Yes, Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors.
Okay. On matters of public office, political activities, and any affiliation, have you filed for any political office?
No.
Any affiliation in relation to the same?
No.
Thank you. On matters of that is the charity work and the donations and the pro bono works, have you ever participated in any charity work?
Yes, I've been involved in building our local church in Jepso, 2 churches specifically, AIC and FPFK. I've been also donating books to our local school. I've been also privileged to sponsor two children up to college in our local village.
Thank you, Chair, and to our nominee. On matters of practice in your area, have you ever done any publications or writings?
No.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Moses, for that time you've taken to inquire pertaining the pro bonos and the rest. I'm also very sure that other honorable members are very ready. Honorable Shele, it's your turn also to inquire.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Outside the commitment during the service in office, do you have any plans, commitment, or agreements to pursue outside employment with or without compensation during your service in office?
No.
If so, explain.
No.
Okay, your turn.
Sorry?
Did you get a question from
No.
the honorable member?
Please, I didn't get the question.
Okay. Honorable Shelley.
Okay, thank you. Outside commitment during your service in office, do you have any plans or commitment or agreement to pursue outside employment with or without compensation during your service in office? If so, explain.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Obvious, Honorable Terer, if I may call you now, you want to confirm to this committee that you will never engage in any work within the department when you will be in CEO. Could be you will also want to develop. Will you not be at times trying to create a way of, could be, making yourself develop too?
No. I will be, during my service, if approved by this committee, all my duties will be within my department work, unless now, if it is charitable work, which is to help the community. But now, doing other works apart from my responsibility, I'm not getting involved.
Okay. You've really given us, it happens that some of the honorable members here are second-term honorable members. At times we used to hear that officers like you will be manning offices, will also want to do some contracts within the county through their proxies. What's your take?
Under the regulations, if approved by this honorable laws, I'm not supposed to undertake any other work or, as you say, contracts. It will be a conflict of interest, and it's not. It will be against the ethics.
Okay, thank you. Shelley, are you done? Do you still have a question?
Before a tender for constructions of a county road is awarded, what are the procedures followed before identifying a contract?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable.
Welcome.
Shelley. And maybe I can take through the procedures for the tender process.
Staffs, is that mic audible enough?
It seems so. It's not
Check the mic, please. Could be you sit next to the mic. You be near. Yeah, Terer. Now continue.
So, I can take through the tender process. The first process is the documentation. The documentation of tender documents. Once the documents are ready, we do invitation of tenderers during as per the guidelines, that is through the printed media. After we give a period of tendering, of submitting the tenders. Once the tenders are submitted by the bidders, we do an opening of tenders. And it's only requirement that when you're opening the tenders, you have to invite the bidders during the opening process. After opening, we check the responsiveness of the tenderers. And then after checking the responsiveness, we do evaluation by evaluating committee to evaluate the bids. Once the committee have done the evaluation, they will do a recommendation of the best bidder, the most responsive bidder. After recommendation, now we do a letter, a notification of award to the winning bidder. Then the bidder we do what is acceptance letter. And then after acceptance is where we do now the agreement and groundbreaking of a project.
Okay, thank you. You've answered precisely the procedure, and hope the same will be adhered to.
It will.
In your leadership.
Yes.
Now, Honorable Isron.
Maybe, Chair, there is one vital order procedure, vital document. If a court, after agreement, there is another vital document award given to the contractor. I think it may be oversight, the commencement. Or the commencement is not part of it?
No, it's part of it.
It's part of it.
Yes, it's part of it.
Okay. What is your state your financial net worth?
My net worth is 25 million, approximately 25 million.
25. Can you break it down?
It comprises of 2 houses, one at home and one at Nairobi, 2 parcels of land.
Approximate value of each, one at home and one at
The value approximate at home is approximately 4 million. Nairobi is approximately 12 million. And then 2 pieces of land, one at home and one at Kapsoit and one at Kapkatet ward. So that is one at home is about 2 million, and the other one is about at Kapkatet ward is about 3.5. And a car, what about 1.5 million.
Is that all?
And then also I have shares in the consultancy firm over about 4 million.
You are a director?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Have you ever been advancedly mentioned in an
Before the honorable member, you had given us approximation of 25 million, is that?
Yes.
What you listed is about 27 million.
No,
Do we call the 2 million an error?
Not really. I'm doing an approximation, but if we do a value, it will be between that 25 and 27.
Oh.
If we do a valuation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Continue, Honorable Isro.
Have you recently do valuation of your what do we call field valuation?
Wealth declaration?
Wealth declaration?
No.
You haven't?
Not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been advancedly mentioned in any? Have you ever been charged in court of law in the last 3 years?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been advancedly mentioned in any investigatory reports of parliamentary, county assembly, or any other commission of inquiry in the last 3 years?
No.
Okay. One final question. Identify a family member or any other person, parties, categories of litigation or financial arrangement that are likely to present a potential conflict of interest when you first assume the position to which you have been nominated. And if so, explain how you will address any such conflict if it arises.
Thank you, Honorable Member. If such situations arises of conflict of interest, first I will declare the interest, and then second I will withdraw myself from decision making of that that project or whatever it was which I had interest.
Is there any family member who can pose a conflict of interest?
No.
Okay. So how did you get appointed? Do you know each other with the appointing authority, or it was just competitive?
No.
Okay. Even the honorable member cannot be part of can never pose a conflict of interest.
No.
Okay, thank you, nominee. The challenge in which the honorable member is feeling that now you hail from Kapsoit ward, as we hear, and the honorable member is around, is a member of the committee. Suppose he comes to your office and says, please understand my situation. We were together since God made this world. What will you do, nominee?
I think, thank you, Chair. Basically, I will follow the procedures of the subject matter. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Honorable Tarimbo, Paul Chirchir Tarimbo, could it be you have also something to ask the nominee? Welcome.
Thank you very much, Chairman. QS Anderson Terer, congratulations on being nominated to be the Chief Officer, Roads, Public Works and Transport.
Thank you.
I also wish to declare interest that the nominee before this committee is from my ward and is also from Kapkatet. However, him coming from my ward will not affect our process in the committee. Now, my question, QS Terer, the Department of Roads has been receiving the lion's share of the budget. I am sure you have done your homework and you've realized that the budget for roads gets quite a substantial amount. Now, if this committee recommends your approval and the House consequently approves you, and bearing in mind that we are in the last month of the second quarter, beginning next month will be in the third quarter, and you know there are timelines for the budget. What is it that you will do to make sure that the Department of Roads absorbs all the allocation allocated to the department? That's number one. Question number two. There are several pending bills in Roads Department. If today, for example, the governor is visiting, for example, Kisiara Ward, and a road is to be opened in Kisiara Ward. If today the governor is visiting Kisiara Ward, what will you do to make sure that the law is followed and the governor launches a road, for example? It's an example I'm using. For example, in Kisiara Ward. What will you do? Would you please tell this committee the procedures that you'll use, the section of the law that you'll use to make sure that the law is followed, and at the same time, the governor maybe launches a road. And maybe notice is just 2 or 3 days. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Hope the Honorable Terer, you got questions?
Yes.
Proceed then, answering.
Thank you, Chair. Let me start with a question for the funds allocated for Department of Roads. And as Honorable Paul Chirchi said, we are on the second quarter, almost to the third quarter from January. And as I'm aware, the budget process starts from June of the next year. So basically, we have around 6 months or so to absorb the budget. And as I was perusing the documents, I noticed that we have pending bills of about 91 million and development is 443 million. So basically, we have about 443 million for for the 6 months for development of the roads. So to come back to answer your question, Honorable Paul Chirchir, is first we need to do the fast track the documentation on as per the development plan, the annual development plan, to fast track the documentation of tender documents, and then now we can now do the tender process concurrently now with the pre-qualification of contractors, because I understand under framework contract, the contractors which were there, we need to do another pre-qualification. So if we can do concurrently, while we are doing the pre-qualification, we can do the tender documentation. So that once we are complete the tender documentation, we will also have the contractors, so that we can start the tender process. So from there we can do both processes at the same time and make the process faster. On the same, we need also to restructure. If this honorable committee and the House approve me, you need also to restructure the department so that even the staff will be able to work more efficiently and deliver at the right time in terms of documentation and also the process of building the roads, and also to increase the supervision factor. Coming to the second question of the pending bills. Yeah, the question of pending bills is a challenge, and there was a task force which was initiated by the Honorable Governor, there was also some documents which was requested from the pending bills, the contractors with pending bills. So if approved by this committee and my department will review the documents once received and ascertain which works was done. And once we have ascertained the work is done and the documentation are right, it will be prudent to approve for payments. To come to another question for opening the road, in case the Honorable Governor is visiting the place and we have a short time, let's say 2 days or 3 days. So I think the first process is to assess the road and ascertain it will approximately how much to do the road. And now from there we do the documentation of the same road, and then we mobilize the contractor to open up the road. That is now will be based on the framework contract, because it will be a short time. Thank you.
Okay, could be. You've really explained. How will it be very fast? Because if a governor goes to Gishara, it has been used as an illustration. Let's say on Monday, and orders are road to be done. In this framework contract, the faster time the road can be done under the orders of the governor can be what time? Using all the procedures, and one thing kept constant, the law is adhered to.
Yeah, if we do approximation of time, like that, it depends. If it is, as you say, if it is 4 days for the governor to visit let's take for example Kabushara ward. basically, we need to.
Honorable Terer, we don't have Kishara award. It's called Kishara.
Kishara,
award.
sorry. Apologies, Chairman. So we need to. We will fast track the documentation, because let's say it take 2 days for documentation and award, and then take another 2 days to open the road.
Okay, thank you. Hope you are aware, Honorable Terer, that this committee are established under committees, all the committees in the Assembly who are doing the vetting, like this one, are established under Standing Order number 205. And this committee, after vetting, when they approve you, they have a right to invite you, even summon you on matters pertaining the department. So whatever you will be mentioning here to them today will be followed and adhered to, and any investigation will be done again whether the same is being done. Hope you are aware about the same. Thank you. Are you satisfied, Honorable Chirchir?
So, thank you very much, Chairman. That question was well answered. It's just that now you have told this committee that the framework that was there expired. So, if a governor is visiting a place, then that means that there is no framework in place. The work has to be advertised. Are you telling this committee, or what do you tell this committee, if today work in the Department of Roads is done, or let me reframe it this way, can work be done in the Department of Roads without documentation? Will you allow that if this committee approves you?
No.
Are you telling this committee that the law, you will adhere to the law and follow the laws of the land?
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. You are also busy telling us, Honorable Terer, that you will, since the framework is expired, you will also work on, could be having it in form, because there will be emergencies to be done. Are you telling us that?
Sorry, Chair.
I'm asking, you accepted that the framework contract expired, is that?
Yes.
You will tell us, if we actually approve you, that you will ensure that the framework contract is in place together for the emergencies which will emanate. Is
Yes,
that?
yes, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Well, I'm clear. Thank you, Chair. I've been trying to go through the certificates of the nominee Anderson Terer, and I've seen he's a registered member with the Institute of Surveyors of Kenya. That is number 697. And the nominee here also is being recognized as a board of registration of architects and quantity surveyors. That is Borax, Kenya. On that note, I also wanted to confirm whether the nominee is aware that there is also an institute called Engineers Registration Board. Are you the nominee
Yes,
aware?
I'm aware.
What is the institution mandated to do? ERB.
ERB is mandated to register engineers and regulate the works of that is civil and structural engineers.
I also believe that even those mechanical and maybe
Mechanical and
electrical
electrical,
engineers,
yes.
electrical
Yes.
are part and parcel. So number two, on that note, I've seen that you might not be one of the engineers, but your area of specialization is actually quantity surveyor. So would you tell this committee that what is the major role of the quantity surveyors? Maybe you can highlight maybe some but a few.
Thank you, Honorable. The major role of quantity surveying is to prepare bills of quantities. That is costings for structures, mainly buildings, roads, and even dams. Number two, the role of quantity surveyors is also to in procurement process, that is the tendering process, to prepare tender documents and the tender process. Number three is contract administration and contract management, that is now post-contract. And then number three is in terms of arbitration. In case of a dispute arises, the quantity surveyor arbitrate between the partners which are under the contract.
So on that note, Bwana Chair, I wanted to ask the nominee whether he understands that what are the most likely the differences between the, let's say like last year's rates and today and this year's rates. Is there maybe variation that you can see maybe based on your own analysis and your own experience having done a quant survey? Are you seeing some difference maybe in terms of the current market rates, and what advice would you give to this committee now that you are seeking for this position?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, there is a difference on rates. We normally do analysis of rates annually, and it gives guidance. So basically from the time of if we talk from 2020 up to now, there's a difference of roughly 30% increase. 30% increase.
30% increase.
Yeah.
So to mean probably last year, that is 2020, so 30% increase. So to mean the road was about roughly 1.2 million.
Yeah.
So 30% of that, let's say a million, is that like 300? Is it 300,000?
30%, yes.
30% of a million.
It's 300,000.
So to mean the road was 1 million, so exactly 1.3 now.
Yes.
So that is the standard rate. So probably, what assurance are you giving this committee that if given the opportunity, you are going to adhere to the laid down procedures that probably make sure that the department operates in a well directed as it based on the BQs, because we have had a lot of contractors doing should work. Probably when you try inquire, they are saying that the BQs were maybe underquoted. So maybe what advice can you give to this committee that such issues will not arise in your watch?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, being trained as a quantity surveyor, I'll be able to coordinate, if approved by this committee, to coordinate my team to have the exact rates and also the specification. Because you find that the challenges we have in some projects is underestimation. You find the cost has been done, the estimates, the engineer's estimate, but now when the contractor quotes, the rates for the contractor is higher, and we have a budget. So if approved by this Honorable House and committee, I'll be able to review and look at the estimates from now, the department before going to tender, to avoid such cases. Another thing is specifications. You find that under the bills of quantities, we should have the specifications well detailed, so that when we are the inspectors and even I myself, if approve, I go to site and check. We check if the contractor follow the specifications as stated. If not, how will you rectify before the project is paid?
So, Bwana Chairman, that begs a question that, of course, when doing open tenders, there has been issues pertaining to the lowest bidder. I don't know whether you've heard of the lowest bidder. Now, the lowest bidder, the project cost could be about 1.2 million in a nutshell, to be very with that quick. If a project is about 1 million, and the lowest bidder, after the contract has been tendered, quotes to be about 500,000. And now you see others are actually quoting about 1 million, then this one is the lowest bidder. What advice can you give? Because that has been a thorn in the flesh. What would you advise this committee? That because you don't want a circumstance where you are given, and then all of a sudden, things that you're going for the lowest bidder based on the tender that people quoted, So maybe what advice would you give here? Because you see, that is where my area of concern is.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, under the open tender, it is normally say we award to lowest tender, but we have a rider down the public.
Sorry, Chairman. A rejoinder, so that it doesn't escape us. Is it binding to award a tender to the lowest quoted tenderer or the lowest technically evaluated tenderer? Which one is which?
Yes, I was going there. So under the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, which was revised 2016, it states that the contract is awarded to lowest responsive tenderer. So it's not only the lowest, but it should be responsive tenderer. So basically, when we are doing evaluation, we check all those responsiveness of the tenderer. You may find the tenderer is quoted 500, but the rates are not reasonable. It's not responsive. So,
Chairman, what do you mean by responsive here?
Sorry.
I think we need to get it clear.
Yeah, responsive means it is not as per the stated rates. Yeah, the market rates. Because you may find that, we use example of 1 million, and the tender have quoted 500,000. So when you go through the PQ, you may find that they are underquoting. And in my experience, you find that when the conductor underquotes, there is 90% chances he will not finish the work. So we normally say the lowest but responsive based on the market rates. Yeah.
Okay, Honorable Aaron.
Maybe rejoinder. Can we, because of joblessness and difficulty in getting jobs, these are the people who quote lower, so in case that they get tender. Can we have a fixed, let's say, percentage which we should fix so that we don't encounter this? Because most of the stall projects in our country, we have many stall projects in our country and incomplete work, and it results from now awarding contracts to these incapacitated contractors. You may evaluate as the best, lowest evaluated responsive tender, but at the end of the day, when they get this contract, they fail to complete because of what? Because of the rates and change of economy. Can we do a certain percentage? Can you cap, say that if it to be let's say 10% or 5%, we avoid or encouraging these lowest bidders who are not capable of finishing work? Can it be?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, it is a guidance under the same act, which stimulates that the bidder should be within 10 plus or minus 10% of the engineer's estimates. So there is that limit, plus or minus 10%. Yeah.
So we can so mark that so that at least we avoid this, so that in any tenders you do that capping. Thank you, Chair. Can I proceed?
Could be before you proceed, allow me give Honorable Kibet, who has not asked any question before, and then I'll be back to you.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Terer, QS Terer, you have just explained to us or to the committee about the procedures, procurement procedures. Now, I want to ask you, in case of an emergency, like a major bridge collapses in the county due to unavoidable circumstances, what will you do to ensure that normalcy returns within the shortest time possible. Considering a scenario here, in my ward, I have a bridge which collapses Amanda Co. What will you do? Now that just like what Chairman has said, that this committee is mandated to call you any time. So for the record, what you are going to tell us today, you will do. I am sure that my bridge will be back to normal in some few days. What will you do to bring to normalcy if this committee appoints you to the position you are in?
Thank you. Honorable Terer.
Thank you, Honorable Kipet. Yes, in the case of, let's take for example, the bridge has collapsed, and they have been communicated to, if approved, to my office. The first thing I will do is me and the technical team will visit the site, do assessment, and then do approximate costings. And this will be treated under the emergency fund for that specific department. So we will do the costings, and because the emergency funds should be done within 1 month. So within that period, we do the documentation, the normal procedure of documentation, and then we restore back the bridge to normalcy.
Could be to inquire, Honorable Terer. This is a fallen bridge. I know of the bridge, and we've been having emergencies in this county of ours. But many a times, emergency funds are going to wrong emergency works. I don't know, out of your experience, can you tell us why that bridge qualifies to be funded under emergency?
Yeah, because of, thank you, Chair. Because the qualification for the bridge under emergency, because of the usage, it's, as the Honorable Member said, it's a connecting from one place to another. So without that bridge, that means the people within that region cannot access the facilities or cannot do their normal activities.
So you are telling us that it qualifies to be called a project to be done under emergency, as we said?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. I have learned, and you've really talked. I've heard you well, academic credentials. It shows that you are a quantity surveyor. Could be you tell us how relevant this skill of yours in quantity surveying relates with this public roads and transport department, because QS, you've said, how is it related? How will you make us be in a better Kericho after endorsing you? Because now we have you as QS. QS is a big name. You've told us also how QS works. Now, how is it relates to the department in which you are going to be approved to? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So, as I said, I'm trained as a quantity surveyor, and basically quantity surveying, as I explained, is doing the costings for all the buildings, roads, and even dams and bridges. So the connection between my profession and, if approved, the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport is I'll be able to check the costings within for any procurement process. I'll be able to moderate the costings within the budget. Number two is I'm also trained as a procurement, to do the procurement procedures. So I'll be able to make sure all the procurement procedures are followed as per the Act. Number three is also the contract management and also supervision. I'll be also able to coordinate the supervision and the contract administration when the work starts. And then on the side of public works, which also falls in the department, is I will be able to streamline the public works so that we'll be able to have the working public works. Because basically the role of public works is to supervise the projects and also to approve the drawings and the projects before start. And I'm aware that in our county that most of these processes are not done the right way, because we find that the Department of Public Works should be also create revenue to the county. In the sense that we be able to get revenue from approvals. And if we are able to digitize the
revenue collection.
Yeah, for the process of approvals. Because you find for counties like Kiambu, for example, Machakos and Narok, they have digitized the approvals, whereby the designer or the architect and engineer just upload the drawings and they will generate the invoices, and then they pay direct to the county. So from there, we'll be able to generate revenue, more revenue, and also we'll be able to supervise the projects well and adhere to the standards, the building code of construction. Basically, that is.
Okay, thank you. So you confirm your skills relate to the department you are to be approved.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Isron.
Maybe rejoinder. QS, my worry now, okay, my concern will be on that correlation between your qualification and the department, considering that this committee, the House approved CC in charge of roads, and he is not a registered, he is not an engineer relevant to the department. So now we'll be having a department now. The CC is a qualified water engineer. Now you are a quantity surveyor. I know you have knowledge in coordinating and contract management, but now the buck stop now will stop at you because as a accounting officer, you will be the engine behind the department. All referral will be on you. The designs, and the guidance, considering that in our county, most of our staffs are technicians. Some were just employed because of what we used to call, they did Road 2000 if you are aware of those programs. So we don't have those technical people who will assist in designing and what have you. What will you, with your qualification, what will you do to ensure that the department got the technical requirement it requires so that it can run smoothly? Now, considering that you are a qualified QS, but you are not a structural or a civil engineer, considering the magnitude of the work to be done, it will be civil works and structural work most. So can you, on that correlation which was asked, can you expound more before I ask you the question?
Thank you, Honorable. Basically, in our training as quantity surveyors, we are also trained to be able to interpret both structural and civil drawings. So, if this house approved, I'll be able to also to interpret and also recommend on what should be, in case the drawing is not correct, what should be corrected or amended. So in the department, I'll be able to check whether the drawings they are correct, they are as per the required standards, because I'm capable to interpret the drawings and also to give the comments if needed.
Okay, maybe you will maybe because of your focus consultant, and in a consultant you work as a consortium whereby you have different players. So maybe I'll insist that when you come here, maybe you will see on how you will work with different players, and maybe if need be use us for technical team or consultant to assist in you. So my question, Chairman, is you know, as a CEO, you will be a CEO of the entire county. Probably you have done your research on how other CEOs, your predecessors. Maybe you will tell us how many CEOs has been in the department so far before you, and maybe on the roads in our county. Do you know how many classification of road we have in the county? And probably, roughly, not into specific details, roughly, do you know the number of kilometers since inception of the county government, the number of roads open, maybe Maram, number of structures? Those are overview questions which you should be having at your fingertips, because now you are coming to occupy that office. Those are the things which is in websites, wherever. So, general overview. And what is that important thing? What is that crucial which motivated you to apply for the job? And if this committee find you suitable to appoint you, what is that one thing you will do differently from the other CEO, your other predecessors, and that impact you will bring within your first 100 days?
Okay, thank you. Could be, let me give the Honorable Terer to answer the question.
Thank you, Chair, and Honorable Estron for your questions. Let me start with the number of CEOs which has been my predecessors before. I'm not having the exact number, but I give the approximate numbers. It's I think there are 3. It's approximate. In the number of roads, no. Yes. The classification of roads which are in our county. You know, we have county roads. We have Terer roads, and also we have roads which are done under levy-funded roads. On the number of kilometers, no, I don't have the exact number of kilometers, and also the number of roads open, I don't have the number of kilometers. The last question is on what motivated me to apply
Before you come that, can you expand on that levy? You have said what? Levy roads?
I'm saying there's roads which are financed through levies.
Okay, maybe the calculation of roads, we have Kenya roads, which deal with highway. We have Kura.
Yeah, yes.
We have Kura, and then we have Kera, and then we have county roads. Or those levy road falls under roads maintenance and levy fund, which is done under roads board. But currently we don't have. It has been refers back to national under 22%.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe.
Thank you.
You can.
Thank you for your correction.
Yeah.
Yes, coming to what motivated me to apply for this docket for CEO, Chief Officer Roads, Public Works, Roads and Transport is that I've been seeing the works being done within the county, and I thought I should come in and make a difference, because you find most of the roads being done in our county are not up to standards in terms of the work done, and the drainage. The most problem is drainage. You find the drainage are done not in the right way. And I'm giving the assurance to this committee that within the, if approved by this honorable committee, I'll be able to streamline to have good workmanship and also the work done as per the required standards and to achieve what is required. But on that question, there was a question of what I will do in the first 100 days. In my first 100 days is to streamline the whole department to do the work as per the required and to have to set the ball rolling towards that we can start working on opening up roads and also in terms of maintaining the existing roads to the required standards. Another thing is on our town. We find that our town also we lack footpaths. It's also one of the things we liaising with this committee and the assembly to we budget for in future we budget so that we can do footpaths and also to the drainage system, because you find like now it's raining, you find almost half of the road is flooded because of poor drainage system. Thank you.
Thank you. I like the aspect that on your first 100 days you have promised that you will streamline the department. So maybe if this committee find it fit to approve you, you know, the Department of Road is backbone of at the backbone of these honorable members. You fail to deliver on roads, the entire honorable members goes home. And the kind of staffs, I'm sorry, who are in the department, I've told you as most are technicians and those guys who have overstayed in that department. I pray that you will have that stamina and that commando, because to lead the Department of Road, it needs military precision. I don't know if you have that stamina to push those guys, because these honorable members here, they are soft here, but I think the pressure they'll exert to you, you have to reciprocate. So I don't know if you have that stamina to push things to be done, because otherwise the CEOs who have been approved before has never stayed in that office because of the pressures and the magnitude of the work involved. So I pray that, and maybe I ask, do you have that stamina? Do you have that workaholic nature?
Yes, I will.
You will?
I will.
Okay, thank
you. You will actually face the pressure from the 30 wards. So the good question is asking is that, do you have a capability to sustain and give a solution?
Yes, I have.
Because many solutions we've been seeing from the members we approve is that they let their phones off. That is how to deal with an honorable member who is being pressured from the ward. So when he wants to exert a pressure to you, you decide to make your phone off, so that you sustain the pressure. You will promise this committee that your phone will be on, is that?
I promise.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Now, Honorable.
Chairman.
Before you, Honorable Chirchir, let me give to Honorable Efali.
Thank you, Chair. Anderson, are you aware that Public Works, Roads and Transport Department collects revenue on behalf of county government? If yes, what are the potential revenue streams in the department? What strategies will you apply to ensure the revenue collection in the department is on a positive trajectory.
Okay, thank you. You got the question?
Yes, yes.
Could be you'll give an answer, please.
Thank you, Chair. On revenue collection of the department, we have revenue, as I said, from the approvals under the public works. 2 from what is called cess we collect. From number 3 is under the fleet management, under the transport, the fleet management system. We also collect revenue from the transport sector. On the ways of adding the revenue to the county, as I said, we need to restructure the public works so that we digitize the approvals and the permits of drawing of the construction. From there, we'll be able to be efficient and increase the revenue collection on that department. Number 2 is we have quarries in our country. We should be able to also collect the revenue from quarries existing within our county. Number 3 is under transport sector, where we need also to have a control on the fleet management and be able to maximize the collection of revenue in the transport sector.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Not Honorable CEO. Let me just inquire, because I'm interested in this quarry issue. I have 3 quarries in my ward, and it has been used just free of charge from the past regime. I'm interested in how you will make this quarry a source of revenue to this county.
Thank you, Chair. We will, if approved by this committee and Honorable House, we'll be able to legislate, to bring a legislation to the House so that we'll be able to set to collect revenue from quarries by doing what is called axle, we measure as called axle loading of the lorries coming from the quarries. From that now loading, we'll be able to charge as per the loading of the lorries coming from the quarries.
Can you explain to me how the charge will be made? Is it per lorry?
It's per load, yeah. It will be the weight.
The weight of the lorry.
Yeah.
To mean you will have a weigh bridge within the quarry?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We look forward for the same. We will have more revenues. Honorable Evelyn, are you satisfied? Yeah. Honorable Chirchir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Just a rejoinder on what the Vice Chair raised on revenue in the Department of Roads, Public Works and Transport. Question number 1. Are you aware that the county government of Kericho has not been able to meet their revenue targets for as old as devolution in the county? In fact, the defunct county council collected more revenue than the current county government. The defunct municipal council collected more revenue than the current county government. Now, if this committee and House approves you, what is it that you will do differently to make sure that the county collects more revenue? Because we want to hear it from you, practical ways of enhancing revenue collection in the county. Aware that 3 years ago, we lost lives when county employees were chasing Brobox in the name of trying to collect revenue. So they chased a vehicle, a Brobox, up to Konasi, threw spikes to make sure that the vehicle stopped. The vehicle rolled, we lost lives. How are you going to make sure that revenue is collected, but not the old way. We don't have to use a rongo. We don't have to use spikes to collect more revenue. How will you do it? How will you do it differently if this committee approves you? Number two, Public Works is a department within roads, transport, and the Public Works. Now, approval, if today a client comes into the county and wants approval before construction of a building, they can either be approved at the sub-county headquarters, at the county headquarters, and I don't know whether you have staff at the public. Okay, we don't know whether you should. I'm sure you have done your homework to find out whether there are staff in Public Works. How will you do it to make sure that the county development structures are controlled? Aware that we have had a building that collapsed due to reasons that we do not know. How will you be having approvals before buildings in our county? And at the same time, new buildings should be used also to generate more revenue, where leakages can be sealed. How will you do it if this committee approves you? Number three, I have not heard you mention testing for our MARAM. You've not told us whether MARAM will just be approved by looking at using the eyes, or you'll be taking them for lab testing in the laboratories that are approved by Public Works. Thank you.
You can proceed, Mr. Terer.
Thank you, Chair and Honorable Paul Chirchir for your questions. To start with the revenue, how to improve the revenue collection if approved by this committee in the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport. One is to digitize the system in Public Works, such that there will be no leakages in the revenue collection. Digitizing means that when the drawings are uploaded on the system, it will be able to generate an invoice to the client based on what normally do is we calculate the approval fees based on the areas, the floor area of a building, for example. So from there, the client will only pay. They'll have the payment details. The invoice will have payment details. They pay to the counter, and then the same system will generate a receipt. And then now they will come only for stamping stamping at the counter. Number two is in terms of permits.
Sorry to cut you, Chair. Can you give examples of counties that have implemented the same to support maybe your proposal, if you know of any?
Yeah, we have Nairobi County, Kiambu, and Kajiado County, and also Machakos. They have started. Number two is on also the permits. You do also the same process for the permits, the construction permits, because in the construction we're paying for holding, the excavation, all those permits. We should also digitize the same. And to improve on the same, we should also be having the inspectorate doing the supervision of works at each level. And we should be having also the penalties for clients who are not following the procedures of approvals. And I know this committee are aware of what has been happening in other counties. The houses are collapsing, sadly because of the lapse on the county staff in terms of approvals and also supervisions, because there should be supervision reports after each stage stage, meaning if you are doing, let's say 5 floors, after 1 floor, there should be a report that this is as this the regulations are followed. So each stage should be having a technical report from the inspectors of the county, that's county's engineers, inspectors. In terms of that, I have touched on the revenue and the public works in terms of approval of the drawings and the works. Coming to testing of the maram before use, the normal procedures before start of any construction of the road, the winner of the tender should bring the sample of the maram to be used to be tested if qualified for the same purpose. So it's the normal procedure. They should be testing before the start of the work. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Terer. Paul.
Okay, I don't know, Chairman, thank you. I don't think you've sufficiently answered on digitizing, especially collection on revenue, on matatus, where if you're in town, if I get into town, I need to see someone in yellow to know that that is a person I'm supposed to pay cash to, so that my car cannot be clamped. Is there a way we can do it the modern way, so that we don't have to have all these attendants in town, where these attendants can be given other duties, so that we maximize on collection and seal all the loopholes, all the revenue leakages? Is it possible?
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Paul Terer. Yeah, it's possible. And the main is first we need to do we put the CCTV cameras so that we can monitor. In the entrance, there is we can monitor the transport, any vehicle entering the county. You should be able to monitor. Number 2, as I said, digitizing is when somebody enter, you can be able to, they'll be captured and sent a signal that they should be paid the fee. By instance that we should be having the enforcement, they reduce the enforcement people, so that they will be somebody stationed. When they see some guys, the vehicle is entering, they send a signal that they should be the fee or the parking fee should be paid. That also will minimize the car attendance in town.
Okay, thank you. You satisfied, Honorable Member?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. We are almost running short of time, and there is an honorable member who have not spoken, Honorable from Kapkatet, Honorable Amos Perir. A friend to the committee, is not a member to roads, could be has something to express.
Through the chair, Mr. Terer, I have a question. And I have a question on this. Sometimes there is dispute between county roads and Terer. Why? Because sometimes you can, when you go to, sometimes you can, people sometimes complain that it belongs to the county, the road is belong to the county. Sometimes they say it under national, under Terer. Can you assist people that to know why sometimes there is dispute?
Okay.
Between leaders.
I think it's a matter on classification of roads.
Yes, classification.
Yeah. Give an answer, please.
Thank you, Honorable Amos, for your question. As stated, there is classification of roads, which we say Kena, Kera, and county roads. So coming specifically to your question of dispute between Kera and county roads, is that normally the Kera roads are under national government, and the county roads is normally under county government. So, and in every financial year, they are financed for Kera roads, which should be used to do the Kera roads. And then there is county roads, which be under the county government budget. So, in most cases, we may find that maybe it's not clear that this is Kera road or but if we go to the documentation, there is clearly specified the Kera roads should be done under the Kera funds, which comes to the county through national government. I don't know if I have answered your question.
I think it is well answered, because definitely we should be having clear classifications. Like in our areas, we have roads which are classified under Kera, and maintenance and any work will be done by the Kera team, that is the national government. And county government is also very clear that it is the roads we really open and we do the maintenance. Okay, Honorable Moses, you have anything?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I have a very quick one to our nominee, Bwana Anderson. You realize that you are holding a very crucial docket, so that when a patient fails to reach hospital, so that when agricultural goods fails to reach the destination, this is an area, Bwana Anderson, that attracts a lot of blessings and a lot of curses equally the same. This is also a department, Anderson, that have been captured, I say, by the dark forces. This is the department that gets the largest budgetary allocation. Again, this is a department that have, I think, the largest spending bills. I'm taking you, Anderson, directly to a matter of transparency. How will you, or how do you plan, or before that part of transparency, Anderson, you realized that public works, under the structures, many have questionable quality. What do you plan going forward so that you will be felt in all the entire 30 counties of Kericho County, and also people get value for their money, and also equally the same, Anderson, all of us get re-elected because you will have that capacity to deliver good quality and safe roads, safe bridges, safe structures. Thank you, Anderson.
Okay. Honorable Anderson.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Honorable Amos, for your questions.
Not Amos, that is Moses.
Moses, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Moses, for your questions. And the fact on the matter of transparency, given approved by this committee and the Honorable House, I'll be able to follow the laid down procedures in giving out the contracts as per the Public Procurement and as a Disposal Act. And also, we follow what the budgeted amounts, and as per the annual development plan, we have which roads are being done annually within the 30 wards. And the works should be done as per the specifications and as per within the budget, and also get the right standards of roads within our county. This will be achieved by doing one, having the correct documentation. and is having the correct specifications in terms of the size of roads, how the roads will be done, the type of material to be used, the structure to be done on the roads should be as per the standards required by the code. And also in terms of supervision, we should have regular supervision of the contractors and have the reports, the supervision reports. In terms of quality of the work, I think I've touched on the quality.
Yes, you've mentioned something on quality. Honorable Moses, are you okay? You are satisfied. Honorable Aaron, a quick one. We don't have time is not for us as we speak.
Thank you, Chairman. I only want to pose a question, probably to the nominee, that is the Pond Surveyor and is Terer. I only want to seek clarification on the issue of the dilapidated state of our roads that is currently, and probably because of the heavy rains. And number two, if approved, what is it, this thing that you do it maybe faster? Probably we can give you like 1 month or 2 weeks that will be visible to the residents of maybe of Kericho County. What is this thing that you got? Before I ask you the second question and the last.
Okay, now that you are aware, Anderson, that we are late in performance, we are supposed to have started our works. In line to what Honorable Aaron has asked you, what will you do? Please give us an answer.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you, Honorable Aaron, for your question. Having moved around our county, the roads are in bad condition, and mainly because of heavy rains. And given that approved by this committee and the Honorable knows, within a month, we'll be able to first, we should be able to restructure our department so that we will not do things without proper procedures. Number two is, given also that we don't have the framework contract has expired, it might be, in my view, it might not be able to do much in terms of work on site, because we need also to do in the proper way. We should be having the contracts and also the work to start on site. So we need to give maybe 2 months so that we'll be able to see the works on site.
To interject, okay. I hope the nominee is aware about the terms of what is the types of contracts.
Yes.
Are you acquainted about?
Yes.
Would you maybe touch on 2 before you conclude?
Yes.
No, about 4.
Sorry?
About 4 the forms of contract.
Yeah, I know we have the one for request for quotations.
RFQ, right?
RFQ. Yes. We have open tender.
Open tender.
We have restricted tender.
Yes.
We have direct procurement.
Yes.
And then we have 2-stage contract.
Fine. So maybe then, why is it that you are saying about 2 months? Because you see, if you are in office, probably the first week, don't you think you can initiate? Because already most of the engineers that are in the department have taken the quality they have done already, BQs, and maybe they are all aware that it is ready, is in your table. So probably, I don't think it will take you to 2 months. Because you see, 2 months is hardly we are clocking June. Because time is not, you see, we are in second quarter.
Yes.
We had to be closing to the last quarter. So what is it about 2 months? Maybe we should get you clear.
No, I was trying to explain in terms of the process. But in this case, as you say, we can use different methods, like request for quotations. Yeah. In case of the road which are in bad conditions, we use other methods like request for quotations so that we move faster. But I'm saying in the long run, we need to do we renew the framework contracts in cases of emergencies. But within a short time, we can be able to use the other methods of procurement. Like the request for quotation is faster. It will be within a week we have the quotations.
Honorable CEO, renewing this framework contract can take how long? As you envisage, as you enter the office?
Probably we give it 14 days to probably 14 to 21 days.
Yeah, about 21 days.
14 to 21 days.
Meaning you can serve this county in 1 month. After renewal, we have works running.
Yes, that's why I was saying we do concurrently.
Yeah.
When you are doing the renewal, we do the tendering process, the tender documentation.
Okay.
Chairman, I think I had a second question, if you'll allow me. The QS, Anderson, there is an issue of that in my place, most of my farmers there are tea producing areas. So we have this problem that already, as we speak, over 10 companies, private companies, like together with Unilever, Finlays, factories like Kuresoi, Bureti, Tet, Kaisugu, all name it, you can name it, that are already picking tea leaves from our interior areas, from our areas, and thus making our roads impassable. As we speak now, over 12 companies are picking probably from my place and other places, just to give you that idea. So, and they are not taxed. They are not giving anything, maybe probably to our county. So what advice? Because you see now they are the ones making the roads impassable, dilapidated, and they are not paying anything. Don't you think we can also do some measures? Or what is your view about that one? Because now, you see, they are the ones that are very loud now, and they are not producing anything, probably to maintain the same roads. What is your view about that?
Thank you, Honorable Member. It is precisely a question on, do you plan to do taxation to them, or what is your view?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Honorable Aaron, for the question. Yes, it has been it's an issue because you find even most of our roads, some are affected by heavy loading, and most they are not taxed to pay by the same. So, in my view, we should come up with a legislation. The House should come up with a legislation that for all those companies which carry those, like say tea or any material, they should be able to pay tax based on what they carry. And now that those taxes should be able now to channel back to maintain the same roads. Thank you, Chair.
You will also assist in forming the legislation?
Yes. Chairman, I think probably we could be having that thing in place.
I know there was. Yes,
yeah. So you see now it's a matter of enforcement.
Yeah.
So you see, you could be giving us a direction. What I wanted you to give us is a direction that probably if the vehicle, the route here going like this, like Subaru there, we say you put maybe enforcement team, maybe to be taxing those vehicles that are coming from our rural areas. Probably they are coming from my place there. They are going, maybe delivering tea to Gure. So these are these Unilever, Finlays, so that they can pay from there as they also exit maybe to various factories. Maybe also think of doing another one down there, because there are some that are going to Bureti, like Terer factories there, like Bureti factories there. So maybe those are the things that I would want maybe the department to push together with the Department of Finance.
Thank you.
I'm sure it sums up to what you had said. You will enhance the revenue collection in the department, which of course the Honorable Member cited that you consider the existence of these lorries which are ferrying tea to private companies. Let me give to Honorable Chirchir, who will in the long run place you, because you come from the same place, And could be I'll also give you now time to give a parting shot. Welcome, Honorable Chirchir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Aware that we are in UDA. UDA is in Kenya Kwanza coalition. We have a manifesto that is about bottom-up model. We align our programs, policies to suit, to be in line with the manifesto for Kenya Kwanza. You've heard the governor, while he was going around, he promised our youth that we will no longer be using machines to spread maram in our roads. We will be employing the youth. I support that. Now, as a chief officer and the accounting officer for the Department of Roads, how will you take up our youth? For example, if a road in a certain place is being done, we don't have to be using machines in everything. We can be using youth. Will you come up with a policy to support the same, or how will you do it? Because we also want to take up, we also want to create employment and empower youth by giving them work whenever we have road construction going on in our places. How will you do it? Thank you.
Okay. Could be you'll give an answer to that as we end, please.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Chirchir, for your question. Yeah, in terms of supporting the youths in our county when it comes to road construction, basically, we approved by this committee, we'll be able to come up with a policy in each let's say, award where the road is being done, the youths within that region should be able to assist in, for example, clearing the road, also in spreading the maram, and also in terms of maintaining the road, opening the culverts, and also cleaning up the road. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Terer. Hope, Honorable Chirchir. Hope all the honorable members now are satisfied, which of course I may say, because we no longer have a time to continue. Let me appreciate the questions and the answers in which you really provided, Honorable Terer. And I was remembering remember this a town, which is a major town in this county of ours, which of course I'm very sure many people do come from our places. There was a time which the Matatu team from Roret were asking they should have an area in which they are picking our people within the town. Up to this far, they don't have any place in which you can call a stage to Roret. So because it is your docket, you will think along that line, because I'm sure those going to Kapsoi, those going to Londiani do have their points. So you'll consider having these people have a comfortable picking positions in this town of ours, because they have, many a times, they collide when picking customers in this town. Could be you'll come and work on it. Could be, if there is any honorable member with closing remarks.
So, what are you telling this committee?
Thank you. Now, Honorable Esron, we will sum up that by saying, I give you some 3 minutes. You give your closing remarks.
Thank you, Chair. Let me thank this committee and the Honorable House for giving me this opportunity for this important occasion of vetting. And I appreciate so much, and God bless every one of you. Number 2 is looking forward to working together in future to improve this and make this great county of ours one of the best counties in Kenya. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Terer, for the time you've given to these members. And without much ado, let me just bring to an end this vetting session for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
The vetting adjourned.